What's up, everybody? It's Ghost here, and today I'm here with Kevin
Yo.
and Hunter,
What's up, guys?
and of course, this is the Outcast podcast. Sorry about that. And today we are going to talk about what, in our opinion, makes a game good, like things that need to be in a game for it to be good, and then maybe if we don't talk about that for that long, we're gonna talk about what games the Switch needs, or what games we'd like to see on the Switch. So let's start with Kevin. What do you think a game absolutely needs for it to be good?
Well, it really depends on the kind of game we're talking about, right? Because when you have a story-based game, obviously you need a story, but you also need great music. But if you're playing a game like League of Legends or Overwatch, that's more based on the competitive scene rather than the story. Music isn't as important.
Yes. So let's go through a couple types of games, like a few different examples of games, and then what those specific genre of game, what that specific genre of game needs. Sorry, I'm not really.
We understood.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with like a story-based game, maybe a shooter or a RPG type thing, third person, first person, something like that. But story based. So, of course, like I said, story based, it needs a good story. Like, for
Should be pretty
example,
obvious.
the first couple Halos are pretty good stories, I guess. I guess you could say, like Legend of Zelda, those have pretty good stories. They're the third person RPGs I was talking about. Any bad examples? Destiny.
But Destiny isn't a story-based game, though. Like, well,
Yes, it is though, because the multiplayer isn't very special. It's mostly based in the real or in the open world, and the missions in there. So
but if it's not a story-based game nor a multiplayer game, how did it get so popular as it is?
marketing.
To be honestly fair, playing Destiny, you're if you play Destiny, most of the time you aren't going to Destiny for wait, new Destiny is coming. It's gonna have a great story. Nope.
At least Destiny
When
2 had a story,
Yeah, but
but
I
it
mean,
wasn't as special as I said in the last one, where I got kind of carried away. Or maybe the one before that. I don't remember.
Well, when people come to me and say, I'm playing Destiny, yeah, I honestly know that they are going with some friends, going to raid bosses, grind
Yes.
for missions. That's the shit you need. Go for.
Yeah,
With
with
Destiny.
friends. Yeah, okay, with friends, you can do raids and stuff, but for the rest in Destiny, there's not much to do. I mean, there's a story that's done in like 10 hours max, I think. Really not that long. Then there are some side missions you could do. There are missions that reset every week. There's the raid, of course, but that raid is ridiculously hard. If you don't know what you're doing and you're going into that, you're gonna be in there for like multiple days, literally. And if you do know what you're doing, sure, it's fun, but the contrast between the story or the campaign, I guess, and the raid in difficulty is it's so different. The story or the campaign, I mean, is so easy, and then you go to the raid and you don't know what you have to do because there are so many puzzles which aren't explained very well. It's just weird. So that's, to me, and the story, going back to the story, is not really that interesting. It's literally this guy's trying to get this moon, I guess, away from your planet, which gives you power, and you have to stop that. Not a very deep or interesting story. But at least it's better than the first one, which didn't have an obvious story at all. But I think that kind of has something to do with the development, because I think they had to scrap Destiny 1 halfway through because Activision didn't like the direction they were going in. And that really hurts the game.
Yeah,
When you halfway the development cycle have to start from scratch, basically. So yeah. So it's kind of sad, with a lot of hype around the game, but not a very good story-based game. On the other hand, there are games like The Witcher, I guess, which is very, very much story game story based, basically only, and that's a really good game. It's really big as well, like 50 hours for the main game.
Bioshock,
I haven't played
Human
it.
Story. You have a lot of story-based game, and the developers are like that. Normally, you can trust with the good stories. BioWare.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so a different thing I think these types of games need to nail very well is gameplay and how things work, especially in
A lot of games nowadays use a lot of filler, like unnecessary puzzles to extend the game length.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if it's for everything, but I've seen a lot of games, especially RPGs, that make unnecessary puzzles just to extend the gameplay time to make it look better.
Look, there's a difference between that in the main story and after the story, like a side mission. I think that's completely fine, but if it's in the main story, like you have to do this unrelated thing, then that's kind of weird. It's kind of out of
Especially
place.
like most RPG-based games that do that have like a very important mission coming up, like it's right before the last thing, and like most RPGs are based on shit like the world's going to end, or you have to save someone right before they die. And to do side missions right before that, to play side missions right before that seems a bit odd.
But about that, I don't really see those that much in RPGs though. Which RPGs are you talking about exactly?
Well, I've seen it a lot in the RPG of Corpse Party. I don't know if anybody has heard of
Oh,
that.
that's that 8-bit
Like,
thing? Or not 8-bit,
yeah,
but kind of like
that's
an
all.
anime game, horror.
yeah, pretty much.
Of course, it's an
But
anime game.
yeah, I wouldn't talk about anything else, would I? No, but in all seriousness, it's not the only one, but the most obvious one. Like right before it's about to end, like the last chapter, there were a lot of unnecessary missions, or well, not necessarily missions, but to get to the last part of the game, you had to do a lot of unnecessary shit. Like it's when it's fun or something, I can understand that they would extend the game time to introduce that kind of mechanics. But
Yeah.
if it's completely unnecessary and it's just trying to find keys or whatever, it's like, why? I don't understand why you would add something like that.
Yeah, but usually in RPGs, that's also kind of to upgrade your character, like finding new gear or things like that. Upgrading something.
Yeah, that's usually in the beginnings of the stories where they do side missions like that. But the games I'm having in mind never really did that. It was.
Hmm.
It's a bit strange.
Are you
to
sure those are RPGs?
To be honest, the game Corpse Party is a puzzle-like game. There are a lot of puzzles in that game, so
But
Well-
is that an RPG really? Because when I
It's-
think of an RPG, I think of Legend of Zelda and Shadow of War.
Or
yeah.
that's an open world RPG.
It's still an RPG.
Yeah, but so is Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah. But Pokemon, you upgrade things, you level your character or your Pokemon. Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's gameplay you really need to nail. I think in first-person shooters, Doom did that really well. They made it very fun to play the game. I don't know. Do you know kind of a bad game that, like with gameplay, I mean like the mechanics and how you control things and how everything works and if it's actually fun to shoot your gun and stuff instead of it's. Yeah, I think I know a good fuck. I don't know the word. A good game.
You know a good fuck. Sorry.
#grownups.com. Okay.
The way you delivered that was so fucking random.
Okay. Well, I'm not very good. Okay, just in general. So let's move
Okay,
on.
back to the topic.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, nice. Sorry about that.
Professional podcast.
Leave me the fuck alone. Okay, a good game is Doom. They made it very fun to get glory kills, and it really feels awesome when you kill an enemy. But in Destiny, again, we're bashing on Destiny, or I am in this case. When you kill an enemy, you feel nothing. It's just like, oh, that's another enemy. Let's move to the next one. But when you rip someone apart in Doom, it's like hell yeah, you know. The satisfaction is way higher. Kind of like getting a sniper kill in in Halo, I guess, a headshot with a sniper in Halo is way more awesome to have than a quick scope in Call of Duty, I think. Because of the
So-
big more health.
I guess you're right.
Well, quick scopes are fun too, but I mean, it's kind of a weird comparison, but
An example I had, which isn't really a good example because I haven't played the game in so long, so I don't really remember a lot of it. But I remember that I picked up Gears of War. I'm pretty sure it was the second one.
okay.
So
They're all kind of the same anyway.
yeah. But I really didn't like how the game played out. Like, it was really weird shooting in that game. It was the same, yet it was very different to what I was used to. It's very hard to explain, but I really disliked the game because of it.
I haven't played the second one, so I can't really bounce back from that. Like,
Well, it sucks that I stopped playing it after like the first 3 times. I didn't really get that far, like, in the game altogether, simply because I just didn't like it. But maybe if I played today, I'd feel a lot different about it because it was one of the earlier games I picked up.
yeah,
And
okay,
it's been like 4 years, I think.
yeah. Well, I guess you can give that one a try again, but
Well, the only first-person shooter I've ever played was like Halo because it was like one of my childhood games.
same.
Call of Duty.
Halo's great. Halo's the best game.
Don't forget Call
I
of
wouldn't go that far, but
I would. Halo 2, best game ever. Period. Well, of course, Halo 2 isn't the very best game ever. I don't think there is such a thing as the best
Also
game
best
ever,
game ever.
because every
Not
game
too
has
many
flaws.
genre.
Every game
There
has.
are too many genres
Yeah.
to do such.
I mean, you can't point out everything, or with every game you can point out something that is wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like in Halo 2, while we're talking about that game, the button combos are very annoying. The difficulty of Legendary is fucked up. A lot of things.
jumping has a lot of glitches.
Jump? I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
There is such a thing as Halo 2 jump spots.
You mean
and-
you can get up some places or something?
Yeah,
I don't think that's a glitch. I think
now it's not necessarily a glitch, but it can be a bit of a. Well-
Nuisance.
I think it's not really annoying as well. It's more. I think I like it because it's kind
Well,
of
I've
an.
never said I disliked it.
It's kind of you can explore the map of the mission, like from the rooftops and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. You can skip entire sections. That's kind of maybe not really a
Yeah.
good part, but I mean, if you want to play the mission, why would you do that? Okay, so I guess we kind of covered that genre, like first or story-based games.
But generally based, I think the two most important things in a game are the soundtrack and the character.
Oh, the
Like-
soundtrack.
Obviously, the soundtrack and the characters don't go for every game. Like, not
No.
every genre, but most genres.
If it's
like-
story-based.
Well, not only. Like, even games like Overwatch need to have great characters to be able to
Yeah, but
enjoy.
they don't really have a main character like Chief or Doom Guy or.
Well, it's kind of Tracer, it's kind of the mascot of the game, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, but Overwatch
But
is
it
kind
doesn't
of a weird.
necessarily. Yeah, it's a weird example, but
Yeah, because there's literally no story.
well,
Sorry,
there's a
I'm-
lot of more story, but you.
It's not
That's-
in the game.
It's not
Well,
in
it's
the game,
it.
so it's not there. So it doesn't count. We can't let Overwatch slip for that. Halo 5 got a lot of shit for that.
Feels bad.
What the fuck are we talking about again?
Story.
Main
based-
characters.
Yeah, you
Oh,
were
not
about-
not main characters, just characters in general.
I think with a story-based game, you need to have a good character which you can relate to, so it makes it more real. Which, I mean, you can't really talk about their characteristics much.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be relatable. I mean, we don't know shit about Master Chief, and he's still one.
But
of the
that
most
makes it
badass characters in
relatable
the
because you
game.
don't know much about him. It's like it's really you playing it.
Yeah, kinda. If you look at
It's
it, like
kind of
that
same
way.
with Doom Guy. I say those a lot, but they're just good examples of games with good characters, I guess. Or it must be like a story game like the Telltale games, which are very many characters and with different,
Personalities.
yeah, so like the
And
Walking Dead games or
To be honest, in my opinion, good game, story game, the sphere it makes, like the surroundings, the art style it makes.
that's a Dutch word.
okay. So
Okay.
the surroundings,
The surroundings that it has, the art.
the artwork, but I don't really
artwork.
think artwork. I get it has to look good, but a game doesn't have to look good to be a good game, in my opinion. Because
Look at RPG games like the
look
open
at-
world ones on the DS, like Pokemon.
yeah, look at Pokemon, especially the first one. If you play those now, you're like, "What the fuck is this?" They don't really look that good, but they're still great games.
Well, it's
Yeah,
different because they don't necessarily look good, but they have
They
their
don't look bad either. That's not what I'm.
they have their charms. Like
Yeah, they're nostalgic charms.
It's-
More
yeah,
than-
even for games that are released nowadays. Well, not nowadays, but like before the 3D kind of Pokemon games were introduced,
Hmm.
like the whole black and white. This, even though they weren't released that long ago, they still have very, yeah. Don't really know how to explain it, but they still look very good, even though it's not detailed and
Games like
Well,
that can't really age bad because it has a type of style,
yeah.
like the pixelated
exactly.
thing. I mean, so
I mean, that is the art style that makes it, makes this rare.
yeah, but I
better.
mean, the art style of like Halo and a Telltale game are very different, but they're
Yeah,
both
they are very
good.
different, but the art style it doesn't mean that every art has to be the same. It has
It has to be unique, and that's
It has to be unique. That's it.
Oh,
It has to give you, when you're playing a game. It's not like you're playing in the same world. The art style, most of the time, the art style pulls you into the world, gives you the feels of the surrounding. Like, I mean, even small games like Ori in the Black Forest. It's such a small game, but the color.
what did they
and-
find?
Okay.
Okay.
The color scheming is so beautiful. It pulls you right into the world.
Yeah. Okay.
and it
Oh,
has
yeah. Okay.
nice
That
story.
I think that's a very good way of describing it. It has to pull you in.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lot of explaining for something very easy to say, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so want to move on to like a different genre instead of like single player things or
well.
player.
What are you
Campaign
talking?
focus.
What kind of genre are you?
Maybe
Thinking.
like games like MOBAs or MMOs because they don't have stories at all, basically. I mean,
Well,
in
most
the
of them
game.
don't. Like that's the thing I think MOBAs need to have, which is
Stories?
not stories, but stories told in the gameplay. Like that, it's not thrown in your face. Like games like Halo, like the cutscenes and shit tell the story. But the thing about MOBA games is that they can tell a story in a different way. Whether
Like
it be like
text in the loading screens or something? Like, this is what's
Well,
happening?
that, maybe, but also like due to characters having discussions with each other or voice lines or tones or whatever.
While in game, you mean?
Yeah, or details in the maps. Like
I guess.
Overwatch does do that. That they have like teasers for skins or whatever in picture frames hidden in the maps.
Yeah, but that's not really story though.
Well, no, I wasn't. English is hard, but I meant like that they should do that more often. But with
Like the secrets in game or something, collectibles.
well, you do have them in Overwatch, but it's just I was just making an example with the whole skin teaser thing.
Oh.
But even like games like League of Legends, which is the only MOBA I've ever played, so that's the only thing I can really make examples out of. But
Mhm.
they do have like voice lines or tones or whatever that, even though it's not much, like it's only three sentences or whatever, but it can make a huge impact on how in the way you see the world of it, or the way you can see a certain
Hmm.
character.
Yeah, okay, so it's I guess in a sense a very small amount of character development, but not very much because 3 sentences can't really do anything.
But they also like League of Legends does have like this huge lore page of every single character that kind of explains how it's going.
Yeah, okay, but
Which-
that's not really a story though. That's more.
Nah, that's more lore
Yeah.
rather than an actual story.
Yeah, but well,
But
yeah.
that's why it's a MOBA. They can't really. Well, they can make a story mode, but it just doesn't fit in the entire thing. Like when
I think it could be. It could fit.
it could, like Overwatch isn't. It's more of a first-person shooter than a MOBA, but
Yes.
they do have like these events where there's an entire story base. Like it's a, you have like this story going on, but they don't do that really often. It's only happened like once or twice, and most of it wasn't even canon.
Nice.
Like you had this huge thing going on. It was for Halloween. It was Junkerstein's Revenge, and while it was fun, it wasn't really story based. Well, it was story based, but not on the main story. It's like
Yeah.
kind of a side story that wasn't canon.
I think a main story could work in a game like League of Legends, a MOBA. Like, but then...
A lot of people have been requesting it, like to make either movies or animes, or whatever.
No. I mean like in game, like a MOBA with like a story where you have one character, and that's the one you are. Maybe you make your own character. It kind of goes against the whole genre, but
To
let
be
me
honest-
let me talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that wasn't towards you, but that was kind of like more like. Let me explain further.
Yeah, go, go ahead.
But maybe like you make your own character. You can choose from a couple skills, of course, from skill trees, I think. And then you go against some villains or something, and the map changes every time because
Well,
League
that
of-
does exist, but it's not a MOBA. That's more of an MMO.
Yeah, but kind of like a MOBA, like the map changes every time because League has 3 maps, I think.
And
Right.
the idea is good, but I don't think it would work, especially in a game like League of Legends. Like the entire point of League of Legends is that it's supposed to be a competitive game where you
Yeah,
have
I
to
guess.
be strategic. But so, if they would make stories, I think it would be a lot better if they would, in fact, focus on a certain character
Yeah.
and like, how do I say this? Advance improve on their character. Like there is a lot of lore in League of Legends, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Especially there are, I don't know how much exactly, but I think there are around 130 characters in the game, and it's
Wow.
they're still increasing. That's like every 3 months there is a new character revealed.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to keep up every single character since some characters are very outdated and their lore isn't canon at all. So basically, they're just characters. They don't really have anything, or it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to keep up with all of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on to the next topic, I think. Or
Yeah.
did you want to say something, Hunter? Because you haven't really.
Yeah, I'm kind of bit disagreeing about League of Legends needing more lore because the development team, they're doing such a great job. Even now, they keep improving with the chapters. Or when you play them, it's most of the people will notice, but when you play the character are actually speaking to you.
No, not
But-
anymore. They changed that a long time ago.
They are still doing that.
No, they're not.
If you play Zed, he will still say, look past darkness, find the truth. He will repeat. He will still
But
say
that's not aimed towards you.
Okay, let's not
It's
talk
him.
about some fucking voice lines. It's not that
Yeah.
topic. Let's save that
But-
discussion
wait,
for after.
Wait. I was going to say something else.
Okay.
I forgot. Oh, no. I forgot again. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nice. Okay, so let's.
Oh, wait. I know it again. I remember.
Are you gonna forget
Something
again?
completely. No, not this time. Something completely different, but still related to MOBAs. What they also need is a good balance team.
Yeah. So the games are balanced. Yeah, that's very important. That was also a thing I was gonna say. It needs to be the multiplayer in games needs to be balanced as fuck. Because if it's not, some things are gonna be
If it's not, it's gonna be Star Wars Battlefront.
The Star Wars Battlefront is way different. That's more
It's
Where
fucking
did-
unbalanced because of rich
yeah.
white kids getting
Microtransactions.
yes,
Yeah,
getting
that's
the best
more-
items because they're rich, while the people who are actually trying to play the game legitimately without paying $3,000 to get the best items.
Yes, and if you want to hear more about that topic, go check out the second episode. Yeah,
But besides
it's a good
shitting
point.
on Battlefront, there were a lot of MOBA games that fuck up now and then because of a certain character getting really overpowered.
I
Like
know.
usually the games fix that,
Yeah,
and
but
another
if they don't, things get abused very quickly.
exactly. And
Yeah.
another thing that I was wanted to point out was that they need a good marketing team that doesn't make too many bad mistakes. And
Halo 5.
well, not necessarily just story based or whatever, but also like take Paladins for example. Like the marketing team made a really bad mistake by making it too much about money, because obviously when you're a game company you want to make money, but
Yeah.
they because of the player base accepting the fact that they did so much with the whole give me money thing, they just kept advancing further and further and made it more money based. Like what I'm trying to say, it's very strange, and I can't explain it very well because, well,
Yeah. Okay.
whatever.
So let's
But-
let's move on. I think we've talked enough about MOBAs. I don't know. I don't really play MOBAs. Maybe that's why I'm not really interested or something. But anyway, let's talk about. Is there anything else we need in a game for it to be good?
Well, nothing we didn't really talk about at all, but there are some
Yeah.
things that we didn't really go in depth with.
Yeah, okay, let's have a little conclusion, I guess, of what's actually needed in a game for it to be good. First, good gameplay. 2, good story. Make sure that's all cool and stuff and good. 4th, a good balance in the multiplayer and even
Where's
in the
the
campaign. Huh?
Where's the third?
Did I say 4th?
Yes.
I meant 3rd. I can't even numbers. Let me alone. Leave me. 4th. What more things that need to be good? Good lore, maybe in
Soundtrack.
the background, or background. Soundtrack, of course. Yes. Oh my God, we didn't go in depth about that.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what that was what I was trying to.
Yeah. Okay.
Point out.
Let's talk about that for a few minutes. I want to start. Best soundtrack ever. Doom, hands down.
It does fit the mood very well, which is the most important thing. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't all have to be like metal or whatever.
Yes, it does. And if it doesn't, it sucks. No. Okay. Just kidding.
But every good game or every game that I enjoyed a lot were games that had a soundtrack that really fitted the mood.
Yes, that's very important. Because I think I don't really know. There aren't soundtracks. Does that include sound effects in game?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not
well,
doesn't, but
yeah,
we
but
take
I
it
mean,
into account.
in this little topic,
Yes.
I think horror games are very good with sound effects, setting the
But-
mood with that. I mean,
Especially crucial in horror games.
yeah, because
Or
if you do
survival
that
game.
wrong, then your game is because with scary things in general, it's 50% of the scare is the sound, and I'm not talking about jump scares. Just setting the mood, tension is very important with horror.
Which is
in
something a
general.
lot of horror games don't do, or horror movies.
Well,
don't.
a lot of them do that are very good though. There are a lot of good horror games like Outlast was very good.
Yes, exactly.
The Resident Evil 7 was very good.
Oh, obviously.
I don't really know many horror games. I don't really play that many of them.
Until
I've-
Dawn was also a very popular horror game. Well, horror.
I don't know. I haven't played it. Wasn't that in PlayStation exclusive? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Something like that.
But
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it's on PC as well, but I really didn't care about the game, so I would.
Yeah, I think games that need to have that more are like the action games. Yeah, because
Basically, every game needs to have a certain mood.
I think
You,
RPGs do that pretty well as well. Because
especially the older ones with the 8-bit and 16-bit music.
I guess in a sense, but the newer ones where you're walking around in some grass, it will have different music than if you're climbing on a rock in the storm or something.
Yeah, of course,
That's
of
true.
course.
But so music is very important in games as well. I think the Sonic games they have pretty good music.
Of course they do. Of course
Well,
they do.
I'm not even kidding though. Adventure 1 and 2 had some great game music.
I almost wanted to make a comment about Nintendo, but
I don't know.
Sega.
yeah, you understood.
Yeah,
For
but
some
What?
for some
now
reason, ever since Super Smash Brothers, I think Nintendo owns Sonic for some reason, but
Nope.
they
That's not
don't.
true.
no. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I think Pac-Man has the best music.
no. What did you say?
I
I'm pretty
think
sure you meant to say Tetris.
no Pac-Man.
No, no. It's iconic. So
Yeah, it's iconic.
That's
Same
great.
with Tetris. Same with, I guess, Mario, the first level.
same with every single old game.
Yeah, I guess Sonic, Green Hill Zone. Yee.
Okay, let's
Exactly.
move on to the next topic.
Okay,
That's were on
How
the
about-
topic.
yeah.
Weren't they?
okay. So soundtrack. Any more things that are crucial for a game? Good marketing. Not only good marketing for the game developers, but fair marketing. Like they're truthful to the fans of like what they're gonna sell you. Not like they did Halo 5, where they said they were gonna give you this story, but the story was fucked up in the final game. So that's very important, I think. Also, a crucial thing, I think, is after the game is out, keep maintaining the game. Like, if there's something wrong, a glitch or something, fix it and be
Most
open
of
to
the-
it.
Most of the games have that, right?
Most of the
Yes,
games do
most of
that.
the games do, but it's very
But unfortunately,
important
most of the games
nonetheless.
released nowadays don't even have the full story out.
Yeah, but yeah, Star Wars.
But I really like matching on games.
But you have to be open to the fans with that as well, because if you're not open to the fans, because I get it takes a while for a glitch to be fixed or something, but when you don't talk to your fans, they're gonna think that you're ignoring them, and then after a while they're not even gonna care about it anymore. That kind of happened with Destiny too, I think. Bungie was very slow with giving the fans information if they're busy with it. So I think that's a good point.
What I also like to see in pretty much every game I played is a nice boss battle. Boss battle that's gives me satisfaction beating it.
But
Yeah.
most of the games you play nowadays don't really have that, because most of the games you play nowadays are either MOBAs, Overwatch, or Subnautica, and none of them really have
But
any
I get
boss
what he's
battles.
saying. If there is a boss in a game, like a final boss, it needs to be one challenging, because if
Well,
it's like Destiny, they're just bullet sponges.
Well, it's been a while since I've really seen a good end final boss, because Halo 2, as good as it is, I beat the final boss in less than a minute, even though I was 10.
I think Shadow of Mordor / War have some good final bosses. I don't know, I'm gonna talk about spoilers real quick, so if you don't want to hear this, you have to click further a little bit, but at the end of Shadow of Mordor, there's a huge, I guess, plot twist. Well, not really. You have to dominate 5 different orc captains, so they're on your side, so you go with 5 orc captains and a huge army of other orcs to this final boss, which is, I'm not really sure. I think it was. No, it wasn't Sauron. That wasn't the DLC. But anyway, you go to this final boss, and then when you almost beat him, he says nope, and all those 5 captains you struggled with to dominate, they turn against you. So you have the final boss and 5 orc war chiefs fighting you, which all have different stats, different weaknesses, different strengths, so it's really hard. That's a good final boss in my opinion. It's also a good plot twist, like, oh, I have this huge army. Oh, nope, I guess not.
Now I have a big army.
Yeah. So I think that was a pretty good boss, if there are bosses like that, or which actually surprise attack you every once in a while. Not unfair things, not like, oh, you're dead now, you have to start over. Just like...
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count because that's the entire point of the game.
Yeah, I guess. But I think things like that, I think, yeah, I get what you're saying, Hunter. A good boss battle is always welcome.
I remembered like Halo 4, the last boss battle was so fucking disappointing.
It was
You
basically...
didn't even have to battle, you just have to press a few buttons and
Yeah.
you were good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an...
But the
the
entire
whole
ending,
mood was building up.
the entire ending of Halo 4 was so anticlimactic. Not just the boss battle, but just the entire end scene.
Rip Cortana.
Well, it was so obvious that it was gonna happen, but also that it's not gonna happen.
It's kind of weird. There are petitions for people to... of like Halo 4 and 5 to get them out of the canon. And I think, in a way, that's kind of logical, because Halo 4 and 5 really fucked up the story, I guess. Especially 5, because...
I haven't played...
They should kind of do the thing what they did with Dragon Ball, which is completely off topic. But they also did that there was like this whole thing going on that the Dragon Ball GT sucked, and that they wanted to have it removed from the canon, which it wasn't in the first place because it was made by a different creator. And I think that they should do that with Halo as well. That they basically scrap Halo 4 and 5 of the canon, and just start where Halo 3 or Reach or whatever,
Yeah,
where
3.
Reach is a prequel, but where 3 left off.
Yes, that would be
Yes.
great.
Yeah,
For
and just,
these games to just... I don't think these... Especially 5 should have been called Halo 5, because it's not focused on Chief at all.
Yeah.
I think it should have been called Halo, like Halo Lock or something. I don't know, or Halo Spartan. I don't fucking know. But I guess I kind of agree with the getting Halo 4 and 5 out of the canon, or they have to get with a very good solution in Halo 6. But that's pretty unlikely, knowing 343, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But I'm hopeful, I guess.
We all are.
But
We all are.
yeah, I don't know. Halo 4 and I think it would be good if they just redid them story-wise, because the ending of Halo 4 and 5, those two even don't make sense with each other. Because
Nope, they
Halo
didn't.
Cortana, in quotation marks, died at the end, but then she's back in Halo 5 and she's all angry and stuff. The fuck? Stop.
She didn't even die. She just vanished. It was so weird.
Well, it's an AI though, so.
It's an AI, yeah. She was locked up in a system or something like that in Halo 4.
I guess
Guess so.
I guess the lore was that AIs die after 8 years of being
Yeah.
in service, and
But
I guess
see-
it was 8 years since Halo 1. So yeah,
Came back. Yeah, and that's like, it was weird. Just weird.
yeah. So
we're getting a bit off topic over here.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. So want to get into the next thing? I think we've said enough about things we need in games. Just good things, I guess. So let's get into games we want to see on the Switch to make the library better, and for us, like how they can convince us to buy the system.
Like every single game that's currently interesting that's on the Switch are like exclusives, which is like the main thing why people would
But-
buy a Switch.
But well, I guess I kind of disagree because there is Doom, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, Dark Souls. There are a lot of games on there, which are also available on other consoles where they will definitely run better. So
Exactly.
I think
That's kind of what I dislike about the Switch. Like, it's
To be honest, and it's really weird, but many people thought that the Switch, because the Switch is inferior against all the other consoles, but the difference these games has, it's not that big.
No, but
What?
still, if I want to play a game and I already have an Xbox, why wouldn't I buy the game for the Xbox where it's probably cheaper because it's older and it will run better? Instead of
That's
buying
true.
a whole new system with a game that will run less good for a gimmick, which is taking it around with you. I guess that's kind of cool, but I don't really see myself going everywhere with my Switch. If I have one, it's probably going to be docked up and into my TV pretty much at all times. I'll probably have the Pro Controller and treat it like my Xbox.
Which is why I really don't think the Nintendo Switch needs games that are available on other consoles and should just stay unique.
I think
Like-
they should just...
I would like crossplay on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch.
No. They
games?
shouldn't.
Crossplay? The fuck? Crossplay is another topic for the next one. Because Jeffel said that and maybe he wants to jump with that. If you're listening, Jeffel, and I know you are, when can you fucking record? When? Okay.
But just really short, talking about crossplay, they shouldn't do that because the controls are very different and the way the consoles run are very different. So it would be very unfair.
I don't think the controls are very different because the Switch is... The Pro Controller is pretty much an Xbox controller at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but
True
still, the way it runs is very different.
But the games on the Switch, I mean, already right now there are a lot of exclusive games on the Switch.
Exactly,
They're all fun.
that's kind of
I
my
mean-
point. They should stick to having unique games that are not available on
But
any other
also,
platform.
if there are new games coming out, I think they should also release it on the Switch for people that do have a Switch.
Yeah, you're right, because games that aren't like they're basically forcing you to buy another console if you want to
Yeah.
play a game that's not available.
Because Doom, for instance, is 2 years old at this point. It's from 2016. If they release that now on the Switch, it's kind of like, what's the point, you know? But Wolfenstein 2 isn't that old. It also... I don't know if it's already on the Switch or if it's gonna be on the Switch.
Maybe.
I think that's also... I think that's a
it's
good
going
thing.
to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
pretty
definitely...
much.
It's already confirmed, but... Yeah, if they're gonna port like games like GTA 5, that game is available for fucking 5 years. I think
It
that's...
kind of reached the point. Like everybody that wanted to play GTA 5, except for maybe the younger generation, would have already played it.
Exactly.
Which may actually be their point because the Switch, when it was released, it's kind of aimed towards smaller children and teens.
Switch? No. It's not aimed at that at all.
Well,
Because
Nintendo in
It's
general
family.
is aimed towards families and kids,
I guess in a sense, but they're trying to market it also for adults.
which is why they released Doom and
Yes,
every other.
because the Wii U and the Wii really did not have any of that.
No, those games were mainly aimed towards children with the whole Mario and Pokemon
Yes.
and whatever.
So, but getting back to it, games that we would like to see, maybe some older, like even like from other consoles, like ports from like N64 or something. That would be cool to see. I mean, I know there are a lot of them already, but I would like to see a Pokemon Stadium on Switch, maybe even with an online feature. That would be fucking great.
I want to see your
Pokemon
massive
Stadium
version of
on
Pokemon
fucking
Snap.
Switch with online feature. Ooh, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make that sound again, but
They did have something very similar with Pokemon Battle Revolution, though. That's pretty outdated as well.
yeah, but Stadium is so maybe a remaster of like Pokemon Stadium.
I
Or
think
maybe-
they should just remaster all very, very old games that were very popular. Like, not just Pokemon, like, what they did have a lot of them with, Like you have all the Zelda games.
Maybe
Mario
remaster and Mario 64. That would be kind of cool. The first 3D Mario.
That does beat beat the point of 64 being in the name, though.
Yeah, but then call it Mario Switch. Whatever.
They should just release all the Pokemon games, though, especially, and not just because I like them.
But because I like them as well. Just kidding, but I get your point. They should release the old Pokemon games. Maybe
I'm pretty
even the
sure
DS
they are,
games.
though.
Yeah, wasn't it already confirmed that they were gonna keep doing the Pokemon games on
I'm
the
pretty sure
Switch
I
instead of
did
the
hear
3DS?
something about Pokemon Snap being released, but not a remaster or anything, but just like how the game was, but then on the Wii. I'm not sure how true it was, though.
It would be cool to see like a Pokemon Snap idea with like your console when it's not docked, so it's like in your hands and you like actually move around with the Switch itself to actually take the pictures all around you while you're actually moving, kind of a VR thing, but not really. If you
Maybe
get what I'm saying.
that may just about be the future.
That would be awesome though, because you have these apps on your phone these days where you can just like walk around and your phone actually sees where you are, like these 3D YouTube videos in a sense. But maybe that with Pokemon Snap, that would be awesome.
I would, yeah, maybe that would be a very good idea. And then, and not just like a remaster, but just maybe
Doesn't
Pokemon Snap
even-
2? Like,
Yeah,
well,
I guess.
when,
Yeah.
when Pokemon Snap was released, like only the first generation of Pokemon existed.
Yeah, maybe
at
now
least
with
that's the
all
only-
the other ones and make it the game like a lot bigger, different tracks because you have to be on a track, or you,
Yeah,
or if you want to take it really far, actually, like make it a Pokemon Go idea where you go actually outside with your Switch. Well, wait, this is all fun and stuff, but does the Switch have a camera? All right.
no.
No, okay, then this
No.
idea is trash because I thought maybe you go
Well-
outside and actually see Pokemon everywhere, kind of like a Pokemon Go idea.
Well, they could do that in the future because, let's face it, there's going to be a new Wii console somewhere in the future.
Yeah, but the thing with the Pokemon Snap, what I said, that doesn't require the camera. I'm actually talking about just having the world inside your Switch move with you, not really like a camera where you see Pokemon
I
in your actual
don't
room.
think that they should like release it for outside like Pokemon Go did because it will die out very quickly.
Unless they treat it normally, like release new Pokemon when it's needed, not 3 months after the game has died.
Well, I mean, Pokemon Go has already existed, so
Yeah,
I'm pretty
well,
sure
it's
that
kind of
if they release
different.
it for the Switch, it will die before it's even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I guess I could do something different with it, but it doesn't have a camera anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that may be for the future console.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. But I don't really
think
know it.
This generation is pretty much over, and in not a Jesus Christ. I
This
can't-
generation isn't over.
In a
It's
few
only
years,
just begun.
well, in a few years, like PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are relatively old at this point.
5 years, I think. But then again, the 360 was around for 10 years.
Or about halfway, I guess.
So I think there could be a lot of new things that will be coming.
They're already developing the new PlayStation.
They, well, of course, I'm pretty sure they're developing it even before the PlayStation 4 was announced.
No, they just started.
Nah,
They announced that they just started.
the
developing.
announcement, but the ideas are probably around for a long time.
Maybe or maybe
Like,
not.
every
That's
time-
not.
Like new technology is developed every single day, and obviously Sony, Microsoft, and whatever are keeping track of it and helping improve that same thing. So whenever like a very new thing gets introduced, like they know of it and they will use it to make their future consoles better.
You know what I'd like to see on Switch?
What do you want? Sure.
It's already confirmed, but I still want to talk about it. A Pokemon RPG. Let's go! Open world!
Oh, Pokemon Battle, aren't they?
Oh,
Okay.
there,
Right, Tournament DX.
No,
Yes, there-
not like an open world Pokemon game where you're the trainer and there are Pokemon everywhere. The world is as big as fucking GTA. GTA has been seen running on the Switch, so I think it is possible.
Well, it has in fact been confirmed that there will be something like that.
Yes, but
But they really didn't give any information on how
nope.
they're planning
So
to
let's
do it.
talk about it.
There were theories that it's gonna be like that it was gonna be similar to a Digimon game, that the entire battle system would change and that there wouldn't be turns.
No, I think that's gay.
Well, there was like this whole theory about that being true.
I think they should keep the battle system because it works so well at this point.
I don't know. Maybe the thing they get old. Not sure.
I
I
guess.
doubt it. If
It's been
Nintendo,
around since.
like, it's been a thing. Like, if it's not wrong, don't fix it.
That's true. But I think they should make that game kind of a combination of, I guess, the Pokemon games we have now, the main series, and I guess a game like GTA. Well, not that you're actually shooting people, but like you're in a city, you can walk around through things, maybe forests and actual routes where you're walking. Maybe have
shoot
high
some people.
grass.
Not all of them, just some people.
But
no.
they already did that, like with the DS. You already have, yeah, black and white and
No,
Yeah,
but those are like
But
the
like we said,
those
if it's
aren't
not broke, don't fix it. So
they
just
aren't
improve on it.
they aren't open world. I mean like the open world aspect of GTA, but of course a different setting, of course a Pokemon setting. Then the combat system and Pokemon catching system of the other games. Maybe throw some other new things in there, which make it more interesting. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't really have any things that would be more interesting that sell to Nintendo, I guess.
not sure.
But that would be great. If that game came out, I'd be buying a Switch instantly.
Guess.
I really do want to buy a Switch because it already has a lot of great games, Mario Odyssey and whatever.
Mario
But I feel like
Odyssey,
if they-
Bayonetta, Arms, Doom is already there.
Arms
Skyrim,
isn't the Arms is
Arms is
fun
a
for
great
10
game.
minutes. It should have been
I-
with 1-2 Switch with the Switch itself, kind of like a Wii Sports title, because it's basically demonstrating what the thing can do, and it's not even demonstrating that much because it's the same as the Wii boxing game. Well, in a sense, of course, there's more to it, but
Yeah, there's more to it. That's and I think the part that there's more to it makes it more fun. And I mean,
guess.
you already got Splatoon, you got Fire Emblem on it, Xenoblade on it, Final Fantasy is coming on it. There's a lot. There's a lot.
yeah. But then I'll go back to the point of I can play all those games. Well, not all of them, but most of them already on other consoles.
To be fair, I think Skyrim would be on the other consoles. I Zelda, Arms,
Zelda is on the
Xenoblade,
other system. I can play Zelda on my Wii U if I want to.
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes. Came
Yeah.
out the same day on the Wii U.
Right.
Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, I guess that's an exclusive.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, there are a lot of
Chronicles,
there are a lot of
if you
Xenoblade.
yeah, if you have a PlayStation but you ain't own one, so I'm sure.
No, so but it's on other consoles. It's not my
Oh,
point
no.
that I personally have the console. It's more the point that it's available on different consoles.
It's on different consoles.
And I think Xenoblade's also on the Wii U, right? Xenoblade. I don't know, but moving on. There's Tetris, which is literally a free app if I want to play Tetris. There's Bomberman, which has been around for how many years now? There
I
is,
know.
I guess, Splatoon. I can play Splatoon on my
But-
Wii U. I guess not
but-
2, but
Do they have Kirby Star Alliance?
is there a Kirby game on the Switch?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Well, I can't play that, but I'm not really craving to play a Kirby game right now. Like, ugh, I need a Kirby in my life.
But doesn't
Well,
that mean
sure, I guess that's one for you, I guess, for your point. But I don't know.
And to have a better point, although most of the games that are on other platforms are, more on other platforms. So Would you rather have more platforms and then have all those games you want on those platforms, or one platforms with all those games?
But the Switch does not have all the games I want.
Well, if we want to play Halo, we do need an Xbox.
Exactly. And if I want to play, most of the games I can play on my other consoles. Like almost all of them, I can play on my Xbox. If I want to play Doom, I play it on my Xbox. If I want to play Skyrim, I play it on my Xbox. If I want to play, I guess Zelda, I have a Wii U. There are a lot of other options, so there's not really this big booming game for me, at least, that really makes me go fun. Yes, I'm gonna buy a Switch right now.
Okay.
There's no Smash Bros. There's no, I guess, Pokemon, which I do want. There's
RPG is coming
There
out,
is.
and it's actually good.
yeah, I
But
hope so, but
Pokemon
I'm not trusting anyone anymore. Not since
But
fucking.
you already have Pokemon Battle Tournament.
Yeah, but that's very different. It's not as good or as.
But it's Battle Tournament. What the fuck is that? Pokemon Battle Tournament? Is that on Switch?
Pokemon Tournament DX.
Oh, you meant Pokken or something.
Nee,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, yeah.
You meant Pokken
Pokken.
Tournament, yes.
Pokken,
But that's
yeah.
also on the Wii U though. And the DX just means deluxe.
Get a deluxe edition.
So that's also on the Wii U, so I do want that game though. It's a combination between Pokemon and Tekken.
Right.
So that's where the Pokken comes from, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
if I want that, I can play it on my Wii U. So there's not really a big main Pokemon title for me.
It kind of sucks that they don't release any information.
Maybe if the new Metroid Prime game that will come out on it is good, maybe then I'll buy it. I haven't played Metroid Prime, I guess.
I guess.
I really want them to release a lot of information about the Pokemon game so I can really decide for myself if I even want to buy a Switch. Like,
Yeah.
if it turns out to be one massive disappointment, like, I'm not gonna waste like 200 euros on the Switch.
3. And that's without a controller or games.
Well, we don't know yet. Maybe maybe they will release it in like 2020.
Yeah, I guess, but still, you know, Nintendo, the Wii U didn't go down as well. Wii U is still,
You can buy it secondhand. Like,
I guess. But, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about buying used consoles these days.
yeah. Why is that? Tell him.
No. I have videos about it on my channel, go watch those. I-
Smart.
Yeah, if I'm seeing here, if there a Nintendo Switch with only Mario Odyssey is 380 euros.
That's a bit overpriced.
With Zelda, it's 390.
Jesus.
Jeebus Crimus. And just the Switch is 320 still. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
But I am willing to pay it if there are great games, and to me, those aren't there yet.
Okay.
But I'm sure they will come. The Wii U had some great titles as well. So, yeah. Any other things we want to talk about?
Nothing major, really.
No,
I guess with the games, yeah. I've set my share.
yeah, I guess me too. So, I guess that was a good episode. I feel good. Better than the last one. Sorry about that one. It was kind of... I think everyone was a bit cranky.
On edge.
A little bit more easily triggered.
There were some things going on behind the scenes that weren't really shown in the video for obvious reasons,
Well,
and we'd like that to stay that way.
oh my god. Well, I guess thank you guys for coming on today. I'll leave your stuff in the description, so go check them out as well. yeah, subscribe for more. Leave some topics in the comments down below. And
We'll
of
see you
course, if
next
you
time.
liked it, like the video. And I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.